I guess, characters that can fulfill that same kind of gap. This does ride a lot on BBL's defense for me. We're seeing Guild's performance on the attack and obviously allowing Safe to do what he's already very vocally said he's comfortable to do. It's a good starting point for them. Actually, initially, nobody on A side to three-man walk out through double doors right now, and Guild actually have found themselves a small opportunity to find some space, but Kushner actually find Trex there. I don't know if that was fully through the wall.
Yeah, very well could have been at this point, but Russ has found one back, so the plant will at least be kept under Guild's control for now, but you can see the wrap coming in, and I don't know how much contact they've had on this, but look at Coldamenta's position. If he gets the right timing on this, they'll have no idea, and a couple of shots in the back and now draws the attention of two. A lot of this retake has now been noted, so BBL gonna have to be fighting uphill, but they're used to that. They're good at that. And Pora gonna be leading the boys back towards the side. The timing's awful for Coldamenta. Dips away just at the wrong time. Still able to put some of that utility into play, but it's not perfect. But for BBL, they've got to find these players, and they're doing exactly what was needed. Drawn off from the defuse, but they should be able to have the time. And BBL looking sharp today.
I was wondering what the initial post-plant plan was there for Guild, because the plant and then
BBL could be one of those teams who benefits greatly from momentum, early confidence, drawing first blood almost. I think that's going to work quite well for them. And for Guild, I don't think they can be too shaken yet. I think they should be fine to carry on forward. Again, I think their strength has been showing as of late. They are certainly at a high point, but we haven't been able to check in a long time, and I'm super excited to see how they handle some of these individuals. Again, for BBL, we know they are such powerful players, but and they still show that they've got that full picture now worked out. Aslan just about kept safe there. That was really on a knife's edge. A pixel either way, and it would have been just a different outcome.
Game DLL going to catch a...
I have the spike. Toxin screen down.
A lot of space here, whether or not he's going to force his way through, because Guild are actually making their way back towards A site now. No real clues to go off here. The dart, actually, it does spot Trex. Yeah, the awareness there from Aslan. Find that, try and isolate this kill, but actually Trex comes out on top. Going to find that kill. It could be an opportunity to isolate AMDL, who did take a Marshall tag earlier, so he's got to play this safe.
Yeah, Guild getting a little scrappy this round, so BBL going to have to work a little bit more for this.
30 seconds left.
And time going to become a little bit of an element, but they are working towards the site, so they should be able to have safe passage to get that spike safely down. You're seeing that now. There it is.
Actually, Trex's spike cam is everything here. It's the only flank protection they have. Not sure if he's checked it just yet, but seemingly aware Safe will find the kill.
Okay, BBL, what's going on here? I'm getting a little worried about this. A trade, I'm still not thinking that's good enough. Yeah. There's so many bodies in the way. Guild can simply just kind of dig their heels in here, make them push a little too deep almost, but Pora sharp as ever. Gonna remove Leo. And a quick couple of kills means this game back on. The feud's going to begin, and look at it, at least going to get to halfway here. You'd see them toying with the idea of just sitting on this one, but you can't do it. Surely not. And, well, I don't know how on earth BBL have scrapped their way through that final 2v2. It felt like it was teed up for them.
Disjointed, it feels like.
But I did like that Kushner was ready to kind of instantly expect someone to try and trade Pora's push.
Yeah,
I kind of like that little synergy between them. That's a nice look to kind of read your opponent quite well. Russ better be careful. He's more than on an island, and there's a lot of players just on the other side here, so he's going to really have to kind of play his life, be very meticulous and cautious with this. As BBL, that aggression already showing, no fear in taking a little bit of a peek around the map, and a curious purchase coming in here from BBL, or lack of a big investment, which I quite fascinated by.
And they absolutely commit to making this a bonus round, right?
Yes.
I guess why we saw a little early aggression. Guild seemingly a great read on the situation. Now we'll find themselves an uncontested plant on A site. To see if BBL just commit to some damage. Russ will get overwhelmed and the weapon retrieved. Hoping that doesn't.
Pretty big.
Yeah, hoping that doesn't equate to a couple more.
I mean, Aslan's got armor. And AMDLL has played this so perfectly, playing quietly in the shadows, does get the punish towards Coldamenta, but quickly traded out. So you're going to see Guild at least trying to find ways back in. It's down to 2. That rifle is still in Aslan's hands. I want to see if he can find anything for this. And yes, he can. Finds safe and now looks for more, but the time's starting to dwindle. Keep that in the back of your mind. They don't have all the time in the world. And a bit of chip damage, and they need one of these players to peek and go down quick. And I don't think Guild are going to fall for this. The damage has certainly been achieved in the wild spray. They can get it to halfway. He's trying to sit there. No way. got so close.
Wow. I mean, bet. On the back of that previous match, actually, BBL come into this with 4 rifles now. Again, if they did reinvest, this would look a lot worse for them.
I've got your trail.
Seeker's going to go down. The attacking side going to try and at least put Kushner under pressure towards the back of side. He's going to have to respect that, at least for now, fall away a little bit further. And while that happens, MDLL did catch safe. So now the spike's going to go down. So the site will be at least under the banner of Guild for now. But you can instantly see BBL looking for that next step forward. Clearing through middle is one of those protocols that they have to achieve. No one there to really greet it, but you can see the post plant from Guild.
Meant to remove pretty early. Leo in position to trade that one out. So even right now, a 3v3. The time ticking away. BBL needs to find some way back on here, and the crossfire from main actually works out perfectly. Result in 2. Kushner responds with 1. Again, any less, and it becomes a little more concerning in terms of the finances.
Yeah, absolutely ate that flash. Guild gonna stay alive with 2. And BBL can really come alive. They can lean a little bit more on the individuals, but they still have a bit of structure there. Whereas I feel for Guild, I want to see a little bit more structure from them. But look at the early punish. BBL, unrelenting aggression from the word go.
Yes, that snakebite did just catch at least the vulnerability. No real damage done, but that headshot is fantastic. Safe will fall.
A quick trade. They're desperate to keep that in check, because if any of these players were able to capitalize off the back of that, that could have been a whole different scenario. Up and over we go, but it's not looking good. Again, though, it's still a 3v3. And speaking of scrappy, another round like this. Leo's just about got a grip on this, but there's still danger aplenty.
I mean, just about, yes, but there's still a real chance NDLL and Pora can fight their way back onto site here. Key position here from Trex. He's, yeah, I was gonna say, he's found that crossfire from Archers. Very difficult here. Poor last man standing, Sheriff in hand. Consolation, no. Leo finds his 4th. I think actually, you're right. The operator in the hands of Kushner now. And he hasn't been cautious at all in mid, and you look at the minimap again, he's drifted straight through.
And if he does this enough round, they're gonna be so paranoid that he's there that he doesn't even have to be there for them to have to be cautious about it, right? Just that presence alone so often is gonna be a problem to deal with. But Guild are kind of navigating around this, and Pora's timing could be really bad here. Caught in no man's land, he's gonna have to peel away, respect the presence. Eats the flash too. But he does get to keep his life.
He's like wide open. We'll see how BBL counter moves Guild are making. Or it doesn't look like he's going to be rewarded with a kill on the other side of this. He's still out on an island as well. You can see the setup here from BBL. Coldament is in a weird spot as well. This is just a mess if you look at the minimap.
It is.
I know exactly where
now the ult's going to kind of reveal everything. Now the Seekers do go down at the same time, so kind of both revealing some sort of facts here, but Coldamenta finally shows his hand. He was lurking away for some time, and they're trying to find maybe Trex. They've gone around him at this point, so they're going to be working their way back in towards B. This is a very unorthodox round. Guild's going to be sat deep towards CT as well. Russ ready with the flash. Quick flash pop. Perfect peek off the back. Russ looking sharp today. Looking in control, and the follow-up as well for the man. Trying to connect on the last, but Coldamenta who makes it there in time, and
kills it, but it's going to be tough for Guild to kind of have a solid grasp on the rest of this half, and it actually makes it a little concerning if this is the sort of recipe for BBL's attack, right? Because I mean, if they can string together 4, maybe 5 rounds on the defense, it's so much harder to manage this pace and this style of game when you're defending, particularly on Breeze as well. That just also throws a curveball in the entire equation.
And I think you're seeing the adaptation a little from Guild here. Look how deep they're sitting to expect these pushes, these catches. And Russ has a undesirable task in some ways. There's so many angles that someone could have crept up from, and you are a little on your own in that regard. But again, this is Guild having to respect that BBL have shown no fear in their approach. They'll play a pretty interesting way. They'll back themselves more often than not.
I mean,
now Russ hasn't been able to check on this player Pora, who is just sat below window. There's got to be some part of their mind that says there is a chance of this. And there's the contact. Great work from Leo to keep that in mind. They weren't able to hard clear that or check on that, but now They've been able to invest that towards it. Seeker's going to really reveal the amount of presence that is towards Connector. And BBL going to be locked out of chance. That's it.
Really how they managed this time in the post. But BBL set up, I guess, a way more traditional approach back towards B site. But first kill comes through. Actually, a trade comes through onto Safe. Any further damage, and again, it does get concerning. Leo did fall in the mix. And 3 survive, and we're happy with that one. It's interesting to see here, but whether some of these Chico rounds or the rounds with a Marshall here and there, that's what I'm talking about. It's actually a really tall order for Guild to kind of keep their finger on the pulse here in terms of what BBL are trying to achieve in something. Because there's so much variation. You look at the minimap every round, it's different every time.
Yeah, and it may be off feeling off just a bit of space, something identified, and it may be off that. Coldament being the one identified is going to be interesting because it's not Rust this time. And Hunter's Fury on both sides going to come out. This is just looking like Tron right now, but AIM-DLL still going to expect the play coming out from the tunnel. Stave's going to catch Aslan, but still, AIM-DLL is just pushed up so close. I don't think he ate the full side of that flash, but still, 2 angles to clear, and he couldn't do both at the same time. Kushner, though, the readjust is quite nice here. This could be pretty valuable, but safe. What a shot walking into that. Leaving it all down to Pora. Ult popped as well. Giving Safe a couple more options. And now 2 players on the side. It has to be clean. It can't be. As Russ is there and Guild. Now, this isn't the round to really see that causation in effect, but the next one coming up could be all we need to be seeing. For now, I hope for a bit of aggression, play a little out of character, do something extraordinary, as a 5-man walk down mid will certainly do a bit of that, but you can see it already. Guild are holding these deep defaults for a very valid reason. And again, Guild gonna play catch here, and BBL gonna be called upon to deliver some shots that aren't gonna be easy by any means. And at this point, the damage has been achieved, but at what cost? They've lost 3 players, and they're gonna back away.
It's so deep that they can't even make the most of a kill onto Coldament and retrieve a weapon. DLL still send out a few warning shots. Did he get tagged? Yeah, did get tagged and revealed on that recon bolt. 20 HP as well. Gotta try and find one of these picks on the way into sight, otherwise it's gonna be, yeah, there you go. Safe already posted up. A little bit of a bait with the cloud burst as well. Takes the angle just behind it. And DLL, the 1v4, Sheriff, light shields. I'd love to see it.
Make me a believer. Let's go AIM-DLL. Tag on the first. Needs a bit more. Not going to happen. Rust is there. And like perfect evolution.
Double doors and tube. Yeah, they're going to slow this right down. You can see Pora a much deeper hold towards B site. Almost happy to give entry away. And you know, Pora is usually good for 1 or 2 on the way in with these sorts of setups.
100%. We're going to watch them at least make early contact. He knows there's a lot of presence here already, but the problem is the Seekers are going to come in and isolate him further. He's going to be in trouble. There goes another ult as well. Big investments coming out from the attack inside, and Pora's just trying to play his life, keep a little bit of safety on the site somewhere, as right now it's manic, and those double ups are going to be put into a really tricky spot to find a way to find value. And already Aslan, let's see if he's lying in nature as he has in name. Already going to try and lead in towards that ult, and no one's looking this way for now, and he does get caught out by Leo, so not the best of start.
Actually, kills come back.
There we go. That's
well, just like that. Guild are trying to play absolute rap style inside with multiple shorties, and BBL just overwhelm them. And this is the problem: if you invest too many bodies inside that Viper's pit, that pack mentality works with BBL on the way back in. I'm not sure how Coldament falls in that scenario. I don't know if it was a spam through or what. It happened off camera, but...
Well, those double ops are still out, but the problem is they've lost 1 now. Kushner's gone down, and Moj has now shown that his presence is also going to be towards Tube, so he has to hit a bit of a move on the back of this, otherwise that's going to happen, and Trex finds a punish towards him, and they've lost 2 of the most impactful players, at least considered in this round. You wanted to keep those ops in play, but now with them gone, and already a minute over still to play with for Guild, they can hit the brakes a little bit, see if they want to, you know, find or punish a rotation or a bit of aggression, which is actually what BBL are up to, trying to retake a bit of information and space over towards the A side, but as we can see, Guild are leaning towards mid and B.
And still got the Viper wall available. It's still just buckets of utility left to make use of as well. Flank will be noted. I think that is the green light for them to progress towards B, or again will be called upon. Both trap wires dealt with.
Yeah, there's not much safety for him, and he knows it. Yeah, he was surrounded. There's no way out, really, for Pora there. He tried as best he can to stay alive, but Guild are playing a nice game at this point. Down to Aslan and AIM-DLL.
I mean, at this point, I eat my words. I said it was going to be difficult for Guild to keep their finger on the pulse and have a good understanding of how BBL are going to play Breeze, and seemingly in terms of damage limitation in the early round, it's textbook from Guild. Not barely any risks taken, and they're in position to punish a lot of the risks that BBL are trying to take. It will be noted here, and actually on the back of the rifle, the second player will be noted as well. Guild know exactly where Slam and AIM-DLL are positioned now.
Them kind of adjusting, becoming stronger, looking a little bit of a better roster. So to me, it's nice to see Guild kind of getting a little bit of the reward to all the work. And let's see if BBL can disrupt any of that now. They do have a couple of rifles out, so don't think it's all for nothing but light armor, maybe missing some odds and ends. And actually, a bit of a trade out to begin with. 1-for-1 trade goes both sides, and Mosh still has to hold this down. Two players trying to peek him on this, and the loss on the site's a problem as well. The map's becoming to open up for Guild. They have so much access, and the three players for BBL are kind of back to the wall here. They've lost out on Pora, so that's eyes removed from the rest of the map. And actually, Mosh going to try and explore a little, see if he can find some of that information they've lost. And Kushina, the guillotine not looking as sharp, and now the position has been found.
That is a beautiful attack in half from Guild.
The grip on what they're up to. But credit to Guild, they've actually managed it. Now, we've heard of the curse. We have to see if there's any truth to it, at least in this matchup.
Oh, initially safe. A little bit of a miscalculation on the dash, but...
Oh, he's absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bad miss.
That's a bad miss. Bloody hell. Well.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, prayers may be answered for BBL. What a start. Bit of a freebie. You'll take those every day of the week. Especially at this map scoreline. Get that pistol, convert the next, do a bit of damage in the bonus. It all becomes almost a reality.
I'm not sure if he was noted there, but he's going to find a headshot on the other side. Oh, takes a boatload of damage, though, from the decay and the snake bite. Again, they slow things down enough where initially on that first toxin cycle, really get full access to site here, and Pora could be the decoy the BBL need on the way in. It works perfectly. Puts Russ in a awkward position.
Yeah, nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. This is great from BBL, just swarming through the map. None of these angles feel comfortable to play. Now, Trex actually gets a freebie on that, but the follow-up... Wait, whoa. He got another? No shot, and now it's still down on Trex. Can he do any more damage? He finds another individual fight, but Aslan holds his nerve.
Step, divert their attention. Well, safe. We'll throw a Master in the mix here. Flash sent out as a... I'm not even sure if that caught. Just looking at the minimap there, I'm not sure if it was tucked into the corner and whether or not they actually get the confirmation behind it. I mean, no presence towards B. Guild naturally drift this way anyway. I guess on the back of the Trailblazer and the Owl Drone, yeah, they're going to know what's up.
Yeah, a full picture painted, but you still have to try and make it work on Garrus and Marshall's completely outgunned on this. And Kushina don't even have to really see much of you to be able to get it working. Excuse me? Just spam towards a spike plant spot, and that's about it. They land, and they've actually brought it back to an advantageous position for Guild. Spike now down, so at least the time's on the side of BBL here, but the numbers are an issue.
We've got a good retake
Any
wall
more
as well.
utility could be a massive problem, drawing the players' eyes away, but Aslan's still good for two. AIM-DLL holds down the site, and BBL...
Really well played. Again, chipping away at that early economy of BBL. Oh, so look at them stacked up now.
Okay.
No more charge.
BBL just going through their normal protocol. Or it's got to be on red alert here, and Gets away with his life, actually. The flash didn't catch and didn't take too much damage on the way back out, but BBL in the meantime have actually started to lean towards the site quite heavily. They should have a fair amount of control, but Pora, look at this positioning. The re-aggress is perfect, and Pora is just delivering mayhem. And he still wants to go further, but Leo quells that sort of threat. But now position noted, vulnerable. Kushin are going to follow up on what Pora started, and this is one-sided this round. Guild have been sent back to the drawing board.
Pora plays that so well. I mean, the bait comes through. It's unfortunate, actually, that Guild don't find that kill. With the snakebite being invested, the spam through the cage just doesn't find any damage. But then Pora baits the dropout. And Guild have absolutely sold a dream. And then to come back through and find 2 kills on the back of it, not even be a late round piece, to be the one to actually make sure that execution comes through cleanly. It's so well played from Pora.
Save time for safe. Gonna pop himself away from the action.
But actually, this is when they reap the rewards, right? Because Guild are almost now conditioned to that pace. They can start second-guessing themselves. Huge lean away from A, and again, look at the purchase here. It's marshals, sheriffs. That rifle saved from safe. Oh, not sure how Trax actually came out on top of that exchange, but he did nonetheless.
And this should indicate a heavy lean coming this way. There should be no secrecy to this, really. Just that wall between and the spam. It pays off. Trek's gonna get away with it. Coming on through, finding Mudge. It's a freebie. And where's Russ just got that from? I don't think they can even see these players half the time. They're just spamming on in, and then look at what's remaining. AIM DLL and Kushina, that's it. That's all they've got left, and maybe it could be enough. A 1v3. Greatness beckoning for the man, and he's answering the call. Flashed up and blind. He's desperate to get away from them. But they close in. It's
kind of anchoring some of these deep sight lines, and Russ has done fantastically well there. Trex as well. Finding the first one, I'm pretty sure, just complete stab in the dark through the wall.
If it works, it works. You take those. You take those every day of the week, especially when BBL was starting to really get on a tear. They were finding form. They were really kind of, making inroads. But now I want to see what else they can do, because we've seen those kind of, I don't even say set pieces, but those leans towards A. I want to see what they look like across the board on the rest of the map. Take a bit of mid control, which is what's already kind of seemingly being the next protocol for them. Maybe a lean back towards that A site, see if they can maybe beat that stack, because Guild have been putting 3-4 players here pretty early on. This time they don't have Rust to deal with just yet.
Rex happy to hide in plain sight here. The wall being invested, you see him pop out of the spy camp. Seekers and the Aldron to deal with another blind kill from Trex.
He's got some fortune on his side. You don't often get to see that sort of thing happen. Kushina has made it towards the site, so they're fighting tooth and nail for this, but there's so many targets to deal with, so many different players, and Aslan, good for 2. Has to be good for the ace, though. 70 HP in a dream is all he's got at this point.
Where safe is with the operator.
Yeah, you're right, and there it is, catching the cross. And you said, stab in the dark, right? And hey, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't, sometimes you're on giving them out. That's how it goes. But again, early contact, all that information has been revealed. But this time, we have a bit of a different setup to receive it on that A site. So maybe BBL could break through this time, as Trex was leaning over towards that B site.
I mean, I'm struggling to find any variety here from BBL in the attack. Again, it's going to be looking like an all-in piece towards A. This time around, one adjustment, which is one player towards mid. AIM DLL going to try and find something on double doors, but look at it, he's got so much to worry about.
They do. And Russ finding that timing window again, spots one just on the cusp, but gets a little worried by door, but his buddies have his back, and it's looking like 12 is about to be lit up on the scoreboard as Kushina gets caught. This is looking a little one.
Press elbow. It's too late in the day, really, here.
I'm sadly in agreement. I kind of think BBL a little too late on the adjustment now. And the flash will show that they're around,
huge.
but Leo, big tags already being dished out, and does get caught off though. Kushina going to quickly try and close that gap, but Rust on the trade out. More vision found, and Trex again. The man doesn't have to truly see them. He just gets the outline, and it's more than enough. But a 3v2. Finally an advantage for BBL in one of these rounds, but look at Cordamenta Oh, Mike, they have no idea that he could be this close by no means. And on the other side, all you got to do is buy time if you're safe. He does more than that. He gets two back to back. And here comes the closing of the gap called a Menta. Gonna put him in the grave as Forward falls in 13-6.
What was that from Safe?